Hello and welcome back to 4FS Gaming. I am Ascendance and today we are going to have a close look at the changes to shotguns coming with the next update for Hunt Showdown. I have done some testing and in this video I'm also going to explain the mechanics behind shotguns and dispel a few myths that have been floating around in the community. Before we get stuck in, don't forget to check out our Discord server and Twitch channel, linked in the description below, and stick around to the end for some great visual comparison of different shotgun barrel lengths and the difference it makes to their spread. So first off, let's get some things straight. It appears shotguns fire 15 pellets with each trigger pull. Now I have not tested this with every shotgun yet, but the Spectre variants and the Romero shotguns certainly do. Each pellet does have a steep damage falloff, so using shotguns at medium to long ranges becomes completely ineffective, as not only will individual pellets deal less damage, there will also be less pellets able to land on the target due to the spread pattern of the shot. In addition, after a certain number of meters, I believe it's somewhere around the 25 meter mark, getting hit with shotgun pellets will no longer apply a bleeding effect. Now the exact range on that one still needs to be worked out. This seems to be a good time to talk about the current 2.3 build on the test server, which has made a massive change to bleeding and burning. By holding F to stop bleeding, the damage will pause from the moment you press the button. You no longer have to wait for the animation to finish before the blood stops pouring out of you. Now the same principle applies to burning. This is an indirect nerf to shotguns, as the bleeding puts on less pressure than before, but it is still very threatening because while staunching a bleed, the player can't run or attack or do anything like that. Another myth that has been floating around is that when you hip fire a shotgun, the spread can center from a random point, and when you aim down sights, the spread will always center on the point that you aim it. Now this is not true at all, as we can see in the background footage. The spread will always center on the middle of your crosshair regardless of whether or not you are aiming down the sights. This means that you don't really have much reason to aim down at the cost of firing faster, although there are people out there that swear aiming makes shotguns more reliable. So why might that be? See, in many different games, aiming with a shotgun reduces the spread of that shotgun, making a more focused blast. After shooting a lot of walls, I came to the conclusion that this is not true for Hunt, or if it is, the difference is so minor that it makes little impact on your damage output. Soon I'm going to show you some tests that will provide further evidence of this. Now I know that there are going to be people watching this that swear aiming down sights makes you much better with shotguns, and the only explanation that I can think of after testing is that if you take the time to aim down sights, you will likely be making better shots, and have your crosshair closer to the target than if you were rapidly firing from the hip without taking the time to ensure you have the target centered. So what about the changes to shotguns coming with the next patch? Well, the devs are dividing the shotguns into three categories: short, medium, and long barrel. Now don't get these confused with short, medium, and long weapon slots, it's a completely different thing. And while damage and range falloff will still be different across the individual shotguns, these barrel lengths will determine how wide the spread pattern of that shotgun is. Short barrel shotguns will have the largest spread, making it hard to deal consistent damage at further than a few meters. These weapons include the Romero hand cannon, the Romero hatchet, and the Caldwell Rival hand cannon. The medium barrel shotguns sit in the middle of spread size, and these include the Caldwell Rival 78 and the Spectre bayonet. Now so far, nothing is changing with these weapons. The short barrel hand cannons already have a massive spread, and the medium barrel shotguns that I just mentioned also won't be experiencing any changes. It is the long barrel shotguns, which are a new category, that will have a very tight spread, and these weapons are being buffed to fit into this category. They are the Romero 77, the Romero 77 Talon, the Spectre 1882 with no bayonet, and of course the Crown and King Auto 5. Due to the constant nature of balance changes, I haven't done a full comparison of all shotgun spread patterns, but I did do an in-depth analysis into the Spectre 1882 and the Spectre bayonet. We can see that the buff to the Spectre 1882 has given it a very tight spread pattern, and there is little discernible difference between aiming down sights and hip firing. Here is the second test just to double check my results, and we can see the same thing. The Spectre bayonet has not received any changes, and we can already see that the spread is much larger, and confirmed by the second test. When we put all of these images side by side, and yes, they were all shot at the same range just for consistency, we can see how much more effective the new long barrel shotguns are going to be, with a much tighter grouping than their previous versions. In this image, I have highlighted the pellet impact so you can more clearly see the pattern. Minimal difference for aiming down sights across all of the tests, and a huge difference in spread pattern, and as such reliability, for the Spectre 1882, and presumably the Crown and King and Romero 77 as well, which received an identical buff. Oh, and one more fact about shotguns, the spread will never place pellets outside of your crosshair size. So, and although I have yet to test this, it would logically follow that running, jumping, and other actions that increase crosshair bloom will also increase your spread pattern. I really hope this video was useful to you guys, and please comment with anything else that you have discovered down below. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more from us here at 4FS Gaming, and as always, thank you so much for watching.